And just a quick word about the Supreme Court selection by President Trump of Neil Gorsuch. I have to tell you, I was tracking a lot of the different individuals that were moving through the process that the president had narrowed down the list. Neil Gorsuch was my selection that I thought that would be one of the best candidates, not only because he has represented Oklahoma already on the 10th Circuit, which includes our state, just because of his judicial opinions. President Trump has the right, as every president does, to be able to bring up different nominees and to be able to put them on the bench. This is something that President Obama did in his first year with Sonia Sotomayor, which was brought to a vote. Republicans and Democrats agreed, put her on the bench. A year later, Elena Kagan came up before President Obama. Republicans and Democrats worked together, went through the process, and she was put on the bench. Neil Gorsuch, I think, will be that same kind of person, that he'll go through the process, he'll be put on the bench. He's a solid individual that's been very adamant and very outspoken about issues like privacy rights for all Americans, religious liberty, the ability to be able to speak out on issues that are important. He's also been very passionate about an issue I'm passionate about as well, and that's regulatory overreach and the role of the government. What's the job of the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch? He had a major decision that he put out just about a year and a half ago dealing with something called Chevron deference. That is, how much power does the executive branch have? Can they be their own judiciary? Can they legislate? And can they also execute it? His statement is no, and quite frankly, the constitutional framers would say no as well. Judge Gorsuch has been an originalist. He's been someone who spoke out often to say, what did the Constitution mean when it was written? And he's been very outspoken to say every judge should have some decisions they don't personally like, but it's not their personal decision, it's what does the law say, and to be able to focus in on that. Now, where has he been in the past? In 2006, when Judge Gorsuch was put on the 10th Circuit, he passed the Senate with a unanimous, what's called a voice vote. In other words, no one opposed him. That means at the time when in the Senate, Hillary Clinton voted for him, Barack Obama, when he was senator, voted for him, Chuck Schumer voted for him. There are a lot of individuals that are here in the Senate now, Joe Biden included, which voted for Judge Gorsuch when he went on the 10th Circuit. So he's had wide appeal among conservatives and of liberals. He'll be a straightforward judge. I'm looking forward to the process. It should take about 60 or 65, 70 days if it happens on average from when he's announced to when he actually enters the bench. Now, I have had some folks that have brought up to me, what about Merrick Garland and what happened last year? Well, it's an interesting journey that we've walked through before, but let me just mention it again. It has been the tradition of the Senate to not advance any Supreme Court nominee during a presidential election year. Even the New York Times admitted that in their stories about Judge Garland and about the selection process, that it's typical for that. I would say also Chuck Schumer agreed to that during the Bush administration in his final year. Joe Biden agreed to that when he was in the Senate as well, leading the judiciary. So it's not just a Republican issue, it's a Republican and Democrat issue. It became a divisive conversation, but it has been historically true for what happened. This is a time for all of us, as Hillary Clinton said, to stand together. This is a moment for us to be able to work together and say, what are we going to do to be able to unite the country? Not only in tone, but also in where we take the next step. Looking forward to the hearing process, learning more about Neil Gorsuch, and walking through this process that's so exceptionally important to Americans that it became the prime issue in the presidential election. Where are we going in the Supreme Court? Now we know. Americans have made their choice. Look forward to the ongoing conversation. If there's any way we can get you more information about Neil Gorsuch or about the process, don't hesitate to be able to contact our office.